Have you ever dealt with depression or suicidal thoughts?
Like, personally?
Yeah, or like, do you know anyone that has?
Personally, yes, and I've known a lot of people that have.
Okay, so how old were you when you first like experienced depression?
14.
14. Okay. So, did you ever like tell any like adults or teachers about it or anything?
Yes, I told my sister first. I have a twin sister, so I told her first. She encouraged me to talk to the counselor at the middle school, so I told the middle school counselor, and they contacted my parents.
Okay. So what was like the things that helped you like overcome this?
Supporting my family and going to therapy.
That's
Being
the next,
consistent in therapy.
that's the next question. Did you ever like seek therapy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was in therapy for quite a while, and did a little bit of antidepressants.
Okay. Were you ever bullied for this?
Yes.
No?
Still to this day, if you can believe it.
Okay. We ever had help for it? Yeah. So how do you think this impacted you?
I think it just made me more aware of how words can hurt and people's actions affect others. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Have you known anyone with depression? You said that. So how do you think it impacted your family? Like, do you think it impacted them more than you, or?
I think they were more shocked, like they didn't know what to do. Because I did come from a loving two-parent household. Their marriage is pretty good so far. I mean, they're not getting divorced, so like they like hanging out with each other still. But I think it was just a shock for them that it's kind of that, like what we talked about in doing red flags, that someone can come from a good loving family where they're not putting people down and not struggling or in poverty and those type of things, and you can still have everything and yet be sad. So it was kind of one of those situations where I didn't really have a reason, but it was more of me being bullied and hating myself and not liking myself, which led to that.
Right.
It wasn't anything that my family was doing. It didn't help that, the sibling rivalry or making fun of you. It was a little, I took it more intense because I already didn't like myself. And then I had my siblings, that doing those little jabs that wouldn't be effective, but it was because I was already so low.
Yeah. Okay. So did you ever like have a moment where you actually thought you were gonna like kill yourself or commit suicide?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, do you think this was the hardest point in your life?
I'm old. I'm old, so I've had a lot of struggles in life. I will say it was one of the hardest times in my life. Like, I think that was the hardest time when I was that age, if that makes sense.
Right. So, like, as
Again,
like
Mr. Faulkner, I'm
like,
old.
It's like a middle school, high school, or like.
It was middle school, so I was in
school.
7th grade, so it was very hard 7th grade year. That was like the hardest time in my life during
That
period
of
yeah.
your life. Okay.
Yes. But as I'm getting older, I'm learning that that's like nothing.